So there was a question that came up yesterday, and I just wanted to go ahead and make a video and address it really quick. I'll go ahead and read you the question. What do we do when we actually walk away from someone? We block them, but there's a possibility that they can show up at your doorstep looking for closure or to talk. What do we do? I think he wanted to hurt me because I hurt him, so I decided to not allow it. I blocked him, and he's the type to show up, so I think at some point he will. Okay, so the question is, what do we do when we actually walk away from someone? So there's nothing left to do, really. You've done the hard part. That was the hardest part of the entire thing, was making that decision. The next hardest thing to do is maintaining this posture now. So you have to keep in mind that once you go this way, there's no going back. Like, there's just no going back and forth. So the number one thing you want to do is maintain this new posture, maintain this new decision. You've decided that you're done, and congratulations for making that decision, because it's not always easy to finally, come to this conclusion, but you did that. So I'm proud of you for that. But there's nothing really left that needs to be done. Who cares if he tries to come and show up on your doorstep? And he probably will. Be too busy. So number 2, you need to be unavailable. Okay? Make yourself unavailable. Whatever that looks like, and whatever that can look like for you. Obviously you said that he's blocked, and you already answered the question. You block them. So block them everywhere. Make sure they're blocked on every single thing. Make sure you hide your blocked calls in your phone so that you can't see when you're getting a blocked call. And you might want to even look into changing your phone number as well, because if they're that serious, there's a possibility that they could also try to contact you on a private number too. So you might want to just, really put the message out there that you're done by changing your phone number too, So be unavailable. If you know the times that he might try to show up at your house, don't be at your house. Or if he knocks on your door, rings the doorbell, don't answer the doorbell. I pray and hope that you're not in a dangerous situation where you're dealing with someone who wants to hurt you physically or harm you in any type of way physically. And, if you are, you need to call the police ASAP if he comes. If you call the police, if he comes because there's an altercation or he's trying to break into your home or hurt you or whatever, you need to call the police, period. Okay, so that will help you right there. The police will show up, and he'll either leave or he'll probably just leave. Okay, so do not open the door and give him another opportunity to try to persuade you or try to get you back or whatever the case is, because what's done is done and the relationship is done. Remember, you've decided. Okay, so from the sounds of it, now that you've come to this decision, from what this sounds like, there's been plenty of time in the relationship that was already between the two of you for him to say whatever needs to be said or make the necessary changes that he needed to make. Okay, so there's nothing left for him to say. It's too late. In essence, it's too late. So you've got to come back to your decision each time you're tempted to answer the phone or to open the door or to unblock him or to reach out to him. Come back to your decision. Remember why you made your decision and stick to that. And back to number 1, maintain your new posture. And lastly, go ahead and have a positive support system. Make sure you have a positive support system alternative in place, whether that be your parents. If you can talk to your mom or your dad about this, if they know about the situation, if you want to talk to somebody that you know from church, or if you have a close friend or a sister that you can confide in and that you can trust, somebody who has your best interest at heart, that you feel comfortable sharing your feelings and emotions with, because you're going to want to have, someone to talk to because now you're without that person that you had every day, you know, to share, you know, your feelings with. So now you need a positive support system in place, so that way you can lean on them and you're not tempted to feel the need to you know, reestablish any sort of connection with the person that you that you're cutting off. So we had an answer actually to the question as well in the chat, and I just kind of wanted to read this and address it really quick as well. So someone answered that if they need closure and they want to talk, you have to give them that. If he's showing up to get you back, okay, but if it's to hurt you, make sure you're safe and tell him to leave you. Okay, first of all, you don't need to do crap. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to give anyone closure. Like, it's no closure needed, actually. What's done is done, and the relationship is over, and you decided that you're done and that you are walking away from someone. They know that you're done. You know that you're done. That's your closure. There's nothing else. Like, it's like I said, you know, you had the whole situationship timeline to discuss and to change and to implement and to go back and forth, and all of that time, it's over. There's nothing else to decide. There's nothing else to talk about. There's no closure necessary. Okay? You don't need to do anything. I don't know why, you know, anybody would think that they need to give someone closure just because someone's asking for it. No, the hell you don't. So I don't know why that person is saying that. And yes, you don't even need to tell him to leave you. Okay, if he's really bothering you and he won't leave you alone, again, 911. Okay, call the cops. Have the cops show up at your house, and I bet you he won't come again. So that was it on that. We'll recap quickly the tips that I had. So first and foremost, most importantly, you need to maintain this new posture. Okay. Number 2, be unavailable in all aspects. You're unavailable now. You're too busy. And he's just going to have to deal with that. He's just going to have to accept that. He did whatever he did that got you guys here. Now you need to do what you need to do to get you where you need to go. So you had to deal with that, what you went through with him, and now he has to deal with this. That's just the way it goes, you know. Don't have any sympathy or, you know, any sort of, like, cut that out. Cut any of that sympathetic crap out. Don't feel sorry for this person. You know, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they did when they hurt you. Now, have that same, you know, energy in you to do what you need to do, you know, and to move on with your life. So, being unavailable with no remorse. And lastly, have a positive support system. So that is what I am leaving you with, and I hope that helped you out. If you have questions or this didn't make sense or you need a little bit more clarity, please leave me a comment. If there's any other unique or nuanced question that's kind of related to this sort of topic, please drop it down in the comments, contact me, and I will make another video on it. I will speak on it. I've been through all the things. I've been through all avenues and all types of situations when it comes to situationships and fornication and all of the things that are tied to these sort of toxic, you know, situations that we can find ourselves in when we're not living righteously. Okay. And so I've lived through so many emotionally difficult things, and I'm here to help you, you know, get to the other side. Okay. So stay strong, and God bless you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I love you. See you in the next video. Bye.